Hey everyone, this is Todd Brinkman. I'm the founder of Virtual Reality for Main Street, and it's an honor tonight to present to you an idea that I've been working on since the summer of 2016. And this idea is how to create and launch a virtual reality restaurant department. And over the next few minutes, we're going to be doing just a quick presentation of what this looks like, and we're going to keep everything at a pretty high level as we move through this quick PowerPoint. So let's jump into the next slide and really take a quick glimpse into who we are as a company. Virtual Reality for Main Street, like we had mentioned, really launched in the summer of 2016. And our mission is to empower local leaders in leading from the front of technology. And a primary way we do this is by creating virtual reality departments. And in this example, of course, we're talking about a VR restaurant department, but other departments would include a VR hospital department, a VR retail store department, a VR city government department, even VR departments for other characteristics, even like homelessness and prisons, and all different types of departments that a city could use in their local community. Another thing we like to do is large scale community projects, and we really like to empower local leaders and get them started by creating large scale projects. And we're excited to be launching our first one, our pilot project right here in East County, San Diego, and we call it Project Piercing Glimpse. And this is where somebody will come into our area, come into East County, San Diego, and we're going to put a VR headset on them at a hotel or in a big mall, for example, and they're going to be able to take a look at a piercing glimpse into the city. So just imagine an arriving tourist is like, hey, I have 3 days and I want to check out where all the hiking trails are. I want to pick the best ones. Wouldn't that be cool for them to be able to actually go through a library of local hiking trails and pick the ones they want to go to, and certainly the ones that they don't want to go to so they don't waste their trip. So it's just a great way to plan their trip when they arrive into our awesome East County, San Diego. And as far as we can tell, this is the world's first project of its kind. And to really sum it up, this could be the world's first large-scale integrated virtual reality and robotics community project. And I know that's a lot of words jumbled together, but really what it is we're using our new tools, and we're really going to empower local leaders to really start looking at how to use them on a local level. So locally, we're going to pitch this in one of our areas. It's going to be called the Explore East County in Virtual Reality campaign. That's how we're going to be selling it in our community. But it's also exciting to be an early pioneer in really what's next coming in our 5G tech era. And we've done a series of other first in the world projects, and we'll go through them real quickly. The first one is the East County Chamber, where I live here in San Diego. We created their own VR world last November. It's exciting to actually have the first chamber in North America to have its own VR home that we're going to be launching here in 2022, but it's all built. We built that last year. Another first was bringing our own AI personal robot assistant into our local chamber here in East County. And how cool is that? Our local chamber could be the first chamber with its own AI robot. And I'll be taking the whole chamber directory and all of the events and putting it into our robot assistant. Other first in the world projects are almost nearly done. This is amazing. We're going to be creating our first project with our prison ministry work. This is where we're going to be creating the world's first VR prison ministry. We're going to be talking about how we can really rethink incarceration by providing inmates with really cutting edge virtual reality training, education, and so many other ways to connect with the outside world. Another one of our world's first is our VR prayers project. We're going to be recording hundreds of local VR experiences. So hospital patients can put a headset on and they can choose some different churches to go pray from, or hundreds of different parks and gardens and beautiful mountain views in our awesome area. So this is the VR prayers project, where in a sense, we're going to create the first 100 VR prayers, and then we're going to give them to local people in need of prayer during their darkest hours. This could be hospice or prisons or even homelessness facilities or other places like isolated seniors, and of course, hospital patients. So we're excited about launching that here in the summer 22 as well. But now let's jump into really why we're here. And this is how we're going to create a VR restaurant department. And over the next few slides, we're really going to take a quick dive into what this is. And don't worry, we have a lot of other curriculum coming up that will really back all this up. So we're going to keep everything at a pretty high level. So here's the 5 things we're going to look at in rapid fire. The first one is, what is it? What is a VR restaurant department? Second one is, what do we do as an organization? And the third slide, we're going to look at the functions. And the fourth slide, we're going to be looking at the process of how to launch this new department. And then we're going to quickly wrap things up and tell you how to get started. So first of all, what is this crazy thing called virtual reality restaurant departments? It's an idea that I thought up back in the summer of 2016, where it does a lot of stuff. And I've been able to write now 4 books on projects like this. So it's very robust. It's not about putting a headset on and going into just a VR world to get kind of lost. It actually has a plan. So that's what a VR restaurant department does, is that it develops and actually executes an annualized virtual reality plan. And this plan has a series of functions. The first one are for sales, and then we have advertising, and we have new tools with VR that can really unleash a connection with the community residents in a public relations campaign. Another big part of what we do is virtual reality training, and eventually your restaurant will consider looking at moving into a virtual reality world. And a favorite quote of mine in my first book is that most of us are trying to create a better candlestick in the age of electricity. And that was a fun quote that I wrote, is we are moving into a new technological era, and my job is to empower you with all the new tools and how you can really thrive in this new industrial revolution. So what do we do? What does virtual reality for Main Street do for a living? What do we do? And it's quite simple, as we build VR departments. And in this particular quick slide deck is we're talking about a VR restaurant department. So it's really inevitable that you will be doing this at some point. It's just that you're probably not doing this right now. So our job is to be your virtual reality restaurant department team. Our job is to do those roles for you until you're ready to do it on your own. So our job is to create an annualized plan and then to execute that over the course of the year. Now, again, let's take a look at the functions. And in this example, we're going to be looking at 5 of them. But a virtual reality restaurant department is really a robust department that is responsible for so much going forward. And one of these would be, of course, VR sales environments. And as you'll learn in all of the curriculum, there's 4 types of virtual reality experiences you can create. And one of them is exciting. You can actually go into the real world, like your convention center, or a place maybe where you have weddings or business conferences. You can actually go there as your avatar, as the salesperson, and you can have your customers enter the real reality, which is the real wedding facility. They can actually be there as their avatars, and you can actually talk about this space when all of you are in different places around the country. It's so cool. So you get to navigate now these VR sales environments in ways that you just didn't have possible before. And it's an honor to present a whole series of technologies to you over the next few courses. Another big part of what we do is we build virtual reality for advertising campaigns. And it's always great to have a cute logo, a funny PDF, or even a traditional video. And there's nothing wrong with all of those. They certainly have their place, but it's one thing entirely differently if you can actually put a headset on one of your target customers, maybe at a trade show, and say, hey, we have a really cool restaurant. We have an awesome place to do weddings, and they get to put a headset on and they get to go there and they get to feel like they're there. It's a much different type of advertising message. And third, it's virtual reality for public relations. And again, it's one thing to have a cute logo. It's another thing for the community to really take a deep dive into how you care for the homeless in your community. It's one thing to say we do great work, and it's another thing for them to actually feel the impact you're doing in your community for a VR for good cause, for example. So virtual reality really unleashes your ability to connect to residents through these empathetic messages that can be quite emotional and quite impactful. Another huge part of what we do is virtual reality for training. And there's so many parts of VR training that we don't have time to cover here. For me, it's like saying virtual reality is like healthcare. There's tons of little things inside of virtual reality. There is no one big metaverse thing. There's a lot of different ways to do it. And we're going to be covering this up quite extensively over the next few YouTube videos. But that's the big thing we do is we empower you to now rethink how you can train your employees. And lastly, at some point, you're going to want to create your own virtual reality world. And when you're ready for that, we'll be ready to educate you on what's possible and even direct you towards some of our VR world partners. Up next, let's talk about the launch process. And we covered what is a VR restaurant department. Now, if you're ready to get started, we have a 3-step process. The first one is the workshop. This is really exciting because there's so much to learn, and we're going to create a jam-packed workshop for you and your executive team on really what's possible now. So we're going to bring in virtual reality headsets. Everybody's going to be able to see everything and actually understand everything. And then from there, our team's going to create an annualized plan that we can start right away. And the next thing, of course, is to start small. So now that we have a plan, part of the plan is to pick the best thing that makes the most sense. It could be VR for advertising or public relations, or maybe even training and onboarding new employees. All of those are great places to start. And out of that, you'll understand what a VR restaurant department will entail through the next few years. And lastly, once you've created your small project, now you're ready for the full launch. This is when we can together create and actually develop your VR restaurant department. Again, thanks everybody. My name's Todd Brinkman. I'm the founder of Virtual Reality for Main Street. And really what we do is we create VR departments. And in this particular YouTube video, we took a look at what is a virtual reality restaurant department. Really all that it is a series of functions. And our job is to do those functions for you until you're ready to take them on for yourself. So again, it's an honor to be with you today. And for more information, go to vrrestaurantdepartment.com.